Welcome to What to Do When, a podcast from real lawyers with real perspective, where we explore a variety of legal issues and scenarios. Each week, we focus on a new topic and discuss what to do when and if any of these legal scenarios ever happen to you or a loved one. With over 40 years of combined legal experience, our hosts offer their unique perspectives and insights on a range of real-life legal situations.
Hi, welcome back to another episode of What to Do When here at Critzer Cardani in Richmond, Virginia. I'm Jackie.
I'm Scott. Jackie, what's on the docket for today?
What to do when you've concealed.
Ooh, what's concealed?
Like
concealment.
Like a dark spot in your eyes?
Yeah.
Little makeup?
Yeah.
So concealment is when you have changed a price tag in a store, you've secreted an item up under your shirt.
What does secreted mean? I love that word, but most people don't.
Just hidden
Okay.
it. It just hid it on purpose. And then, or if you've changed a product from one container to another, but of course it's like stealing, but it's a subsection of
It's a subsection of larceny, but it's the same thing. It's stealing property. So, for instance, you walk into Target.
Okay.
And
they like to prosecute, by the way.
Yeah, they do. It's really badly. We got a lot of calls from Target. But anyways, people are doing this price tag changing thing. It's become a very common thing. So they go over to the teddy bear that was $3 and take the sticker off the $3 teddy bear, and then they go put it on the $200 or $20 diapers or whatever it may be.
Yeah, sure.
So that's that price changing thing. Or like in some stores, some smaller stores where they actually cross out and say it's on sale or something, they may do something like that, cross out the price and say the new price is $30, something like that. So, before we got on, Jackie was talking about how in the old days, our parents maybe go to the hardware store and put some, they're getting some bolts and nuts and stuff. They put them in their pocket to carry them up front. And then we got front, then the cash registers, they pull them out. Well, that doesn't fly like it used to because sometimes they try to get you for concealment before you even get to the cash register. Sure. You never have a chance to prove that. Number two, so many people forget they just put something in their pocket. I don't know how you do that, but.
Well, and it's not just if you are the one who changed the price sticker or you are committing this concealment. It's if you help someone or talk to someone or try to distract the store clerk while somebody else is doing. Like if you're involved or aiding and abetting in any way, you can be charged with the same thing.
Yeah. And it's kind of like larceny. It's petty larceny, which is, or the smaller misdemeanor, we call it, would be under $1,000. And if you're over $1,000, like people going in, say you have this TV that you want from Walmart. It happens all the time. And it's $3,000. But there's another TV down there that's $899 and you switch price tags. And I realize you're all looking at me going like, why everybody scans everything now? It's not true. I probably had 5 or 10 price tag changes from Target in the last couple months.
Well, they take the sales sticker. It's yellow, and I know that because I like to shop at Target. Don't tell my husband, it's a secret. But they have these little yellow sales stickers, so they do put stickers on the tags. I mean, the original tag is a scan,
yes,
but they do take those yellow sales stickers, and that they're not the only ones that do it. And moving that to a different product. Now, what happens, Scott, if you had nothing to do with the sticker swap? You didn't know it occurred. You walked up to this item on the shelf and you saw it there and it had this surprisingly low price, but not so shocking that, you thought something was amiss, and you pick it up and you try to take it up front and they're like, hey, this isn't the right sticker.
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't matter if you're in Chesterfield or Henrico or wherever, they're having deals all the time. Like when I just went and bought a couple casual shirts. My wife and I were out in Goochland, and you put on this. I got a shirt for $10. It's a $40 shirt. I'm like, Did somebody switch the price?
Sure.
So yeah, that you have to be careful with that, but you have to have the intent to do it. They'd have to prove that you knowingly did it. There's this knowingly element to it that, always in criminal law, there has to be an intent to it.
Is it known or should have known, or like knew that somebody had done that?
You have to have known. You have to have the intent in this case. It's stolen goods and all these things, if you don't know they're stolen, then, it's not your fault. And, we live in a society when you think about it. I mean, you could literally go to the Target in Henrico and go to the Target in Chesterfield or in Williamsburg or somewhere else, and the prices could be completely different.
True. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. So, for instance, I'm trying to think. Maybe there's some shampoo, some newfangled shampoo out.
Perfect.
And in Chester, it's selling for $75.
Oh.
And everybody loves it in Chesterfield. They're buying it like nothing. And then in Hanover,
nobody wants
it. They think it's garbage. And so it sat on the shelf for a year, and now they're just discounting in Hanover, and it's 30 cents or 45 cents. That stuff happens all the time. So, again, you have to know what's going on. But what we're talking about is when you do it, and, again, you're going to get immediately stopped probably by somebody in the store. Usually the police aren't there till after you're stopped.
Right.
And so, that's a whole nother game. And we always say this: do not talk. Do not try to get yourself out of it. Do not start trying to do anything.
Well, let me ask you this. What happens, when does it become a different charge than somebody? I never want to say that we've done the crime, so I hate using us as the examples. But let's say you've put this thing in your pocket and you did forget that it was there, but you did intentionally put it in your pocket. That's technically concealment. And then you didn't check the other pocket. You left it in there and you walked. Like, when does it become something more than concealment?
Well, that's just what it is. I don't know. Maybe I'm misunderstanding the question, but it's concealment that's the whole charge. It's stealing when you walked out of the store. As soon as you walk out of the store, it's concealment. So when you're still in the premises, though, you're okay. Technically.
Well, while you're still in the premises, that's the concealment, right? It's when you leave that it's the petty larceny.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
okay. I'm sorry. I didn't know what you're saying. Yeah.
Sorry. Okay.
So, yeah, you're still on the premises, but usually you pass the point of sale.
And that's the trigger for the next charge.
But like you said, these are usually the charges that happen inside the store behind, on the other side on the sale side of the register, so to speak. Usually, like you said, when you're walking out, it changes that. But
gosh, and I think that we have I remember representing some young people, but Walmart is big on their loss prevention, and so is Target. But actually, Wawa is too. You better not take some food out of there without paying for it. They've got cameras everywhere, and now we've seen that as well. But how many clients have you had where it was a young girl, who took the makeup and just stuck it in her pocketbook?
Oh yeah, all the time. Or they go in the changing room and they leave one of the shirts underneath their blouse and all those kind of things. So yeah, I mean, it happens all the time.
And still a crime of dishonesty.
Yeah, and what you got to understand, that was going to bring up next. These things are crimes of moral turpitude that they hurt you forever. That's when you're trying to do something later on in life, you have this petty larceny or concealment on your record. Nobody likes to hear that. It means you're a stealer, and people don't tend to like stealers, especially people who are hiring people. Because say I'm hiring you to run my office, and my office gets paid money every once in a while in cash. Am I going to put somebody with petty larceny out front who's handling money? Probably not.
On the register, in any way handling finances.
Or you're even in the back, the guy getting deliveries off the truck.
Oh, sure.
Well, we only got 14 today.
Right.
We were supposed to get 15, but we only got 14. I mean, and then you start going, wait a minute, he had a petty larceny. Did I really trust that guy? Ooh. It's a horrible thing. And let me say this. I'm sure most people made mistakes in their lives and they learned from them and they changed and they never did it again. But these are the kind of things on records that hang around. And even though you may never done anything for years and years and years and had lived a perfect life, those things tend to hang. And it's not a good thing to do. And it's something that people do a lot of. And as Jackie said, it used to be, and you see it on news all the time, like in California, they let people seem like steal whatever. I mean, I'm amazed by that. But for whatever reason, here in Virginia, they've really cracked down on it. And I've seen a tremendous crackdown in Target, Wawa, Walmart, the bigger stores where it never used to be. The smaller stores are doing it too, though. The little mom and pop shops have cameras everywhere now. Cameras are so cheap now. So it's much easier to catch you on a camera. They see you doing it, and the little kid who goes in the store and goes, oh yeah, I need, I want that piece of bubble gum.
Well, and a little food for thought. Well, Sure, there's children who get little sticky fingers, and that's a whole different process. But when you've got a teenager or young person, and it's not just young people who conceal, there are plenty of grown people who do it as well. But this $50 item, $2 item, $250 item is now going to cost you how much in a defense attorney?
Yeah, absolutely. Good point.
Thousands. It's thousands. Misdemeanors are now well over $1,000, sometimes multiple. And felony charge is going to land you square in several $1,000s. So keep in mind that the trouble you're finding yourself in is only going to be a multiplier of the attorney's fees you're going to have to pay.
Absolutely. You saved $5, so to speak, but you're going to spend, $2,500 probably. So, well, thank you for joining us today. Like and subscribe. We appreciate you being here. Have a good day.
We hope you've enjoyed this episode of What to Do When. For more episodes, be sure to subscribe to our podcast, and we encourage you to check our archives to listen to previous topics. Tune in next week for a new episode and some fresh perspective from Critzer Cardani.